Welcome to the Intro to Branding presented by myself, Lady TKG. And in this course, we're going to go over different elements and steps to branding that people often overlook. But each of these steps and these elements are going to help your business go to the next level. So without any hesitation, let's go, let's get it. So, right off, many people have this misconception that a logo is branding. A logo is not branding. It's a part of the brand process, but the logo is not the key elements to branding. Branding is the process of creating a series of design and marketing elements to differentiate a company from others. So, for example, as you see right there, McDonald's, we all know that logo, the golden arches, the McDonald's in red along the bottom. Anywhere you see this, you're going to recognize it. A 3-year-old, there's been studies, they can recognize this logo. And yes, that is a big part of their branding. But if you notice the Big Mac container, every single one of their items has the same aesthetic, it has the same fonts, and it has the same colors. This is what makes their brand stand out. Anywhere you go, you're going to recognize McDonald's because they have the same branding. The only way you're going to see different colors if they have a special promotion or a certain product or event going on at the moment. But for the most part, everything you see under the McDonald's brand is going to be the same. Now, McDonald's didn't simply come up with this. They had a team, they had a plan, and they knew the elements of branding. So let's go into those. Consider each of these steps a foundation for your company. You need to know each of these questions in their entirety. Later, you're going to see answering these questions is going to make the actual hands-on branding process so much easier. So, do you understand your company? Have you learned your audience? Have you selected your brand message and positioning? And are you tracking your brand growth? I stump business owners with this one question. Do you have a mission statement? What's the purpose of your company being? Do you have a vision? Do you know where you want your company going in the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years? And what values, beliefs, and philosophies are the foundation for your company? Because many people feel like this is not important, but think about it. For example, Chick-fil-A. They stand firm on their Christian values and beliefs, so much so that they refuse to open on Sunday. Let's say you take a strong stance against drug use. You're going to probably institute certain policies to keep drug users out of your business. It is very important to ask yourself these questions. Once again, these key steps are going to be the foundation of your company. So let's move on to the next one. This next step, if you don't take it seriously, you can mess up your mindset. It's knowing and learning your audience. Many small business owners become discouraged because they forget this key step in the branding process. You have to know your audience. You have to know who's following you, and you have to know what influence you have. If your business is selling Pokemon collectibles and no one on your timeline even likes Pokemon, you cannot be surprised that you only get 1 or 2 likes, no shares, no interactions. It's because you haven't appealed to your audience. You may not even be on the right platform. That's why it's important to do your research. Pick the right platform for your product or service. If you're an artist, Instagram and TikTok may be better for you to present your work than Facebook. You don't know that unless you do your research and learn the algorithm of the platform or platforms you choose. Once you know what platform or platforms you want to work with, make a posting plan and schedule. Monday and Tuesday, you focus more on your stories. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, you focus more on reels. And Friday, you just have fun on live. That planning is going to help you out greatly. And lastly, review, review, review. Make sure you are looking at those insights. Those of you who don't know what insights are, they're literally statistics that each platform gives you, letting you know how well a post is doing. These stats help you figure out who's watching your posts, what their ages are, what demographic they are, what area in the country they are. All of that is going to help you make sure that the posts you bring in the future are going to be for your audience. Usually the question that comes after that is, what do I say? And that's why it's important that you learn what is your message. What do you want your audience to know about your company, about your service? What value does your company bring to your chosen niche or industry? And how does your brand differ from the competition? A great example of this is Domino's. They became different from the competition with their pizza tracker. They paid attention to what their customers were saying, and they made a way for their customers to know each and every step of the pizza making process. This may have not been a big thing to some, but for the industry, it was a game changer. So much so that they had their competition scrambling to find options for their websites. So once Domino's noticed that their tracker was working and they became very popular for it, you better know that they promote it, because that is what they had different from the competition. The tracker became a part of their brand, and you have to find the same thing for your brand. What will you come up with? Last of the key steps, but definitely not the least, watch it grow. And within this, you do have to set reachable goals for your business and track your progress, and make sure you reward and celebrate yourself, because what you do not track, you don't grow. Imagine if your teachers never kept up with your grades. So at the end of the year, when you were going into testing, they didn't know how well you were going to perform. That's exactly what not tracking your business is like. And please remember to celebrate yourself. Understand a small victory is just that, small. But a lot of small victories are going to get you over that finish line. Make sure that you are happy and grateful for every goal that you accomplish. Now that we have finished going over the steps and foundation of branding, let's go into the 5 components of what makes a great brand. Each of these components is going to help your audience see your brand. Your goal is to leave a lasting impression. Remember, you need to stand out from the rest. Why should they come to you? The first component is brand purpose. If you do everything that we have discussed in the previous steps, you should be ready to complete this component. You know your company's values, their mission statement, you know what your purpose is, you know all of these things. The point of branding is making sure the customer knows these things. So you want to make sure that you present this as is. Best way to show your story is making sure that your logo speaks volumes. The logo is the face of your company. Colors you choose, the archetype, the design, the feel, all has something to do with how people will view your company. You see this without thinking about it. Most food places are bright colors. They're usually red, orange, yellow, bright colors so that you can see them from far off and it sticks in your mind. Most health places are green or blue or earth tones because they want to convey a sense of healthiness. You want to make sure that your logo makes sense with your company. You don't want to be a lawn care business having your image as a bird. Your potential customers are going to be confused. Is this a lawn care business or are they selling birds? As far as the colors, the design, the feel, make sure you're comfortable with what you choose because this is the face of your brand. Next component is your tagline or slogan. This is how people are going to really remember you. This is how people get a sense of who you are and the tone of your business. Now, for example, if you walk into any place and say Red Robin, I promise you at least one person is going to say, yum. That's because they're known for that. That's something that caught their customers' eye and it lets their customers know that you can come here for great tasting food. So have fun and make sure your tagline or slogan is something that will catch your audience's attention. Make sure they know that when they see this, they see you. And speaking of what customers see, let's talk about the graphics. You have to make sure you choose high quality photos or stock images so that people know that you mean business. Remember, and much like your logo, you want your graphics on your website or your page to show your product or service. You want to make sure you're displaying your product and service in a way that your customers or your audience feels that they need it. If your product is used in the kitchen, you might want to consider taking photos with a kitchen background. If your product can be a little tricky to use, you not only want to have photos to go step by step, you might even want to include a high quality video. It's simple. People like what they see. So it's your job to make sure that your product or service is appealing, and that will look different depending on your product, your service, your niche, but that is always your goal. The last component, but certainly not least, is the typography. Many people don't think about this. They overlook their font. They don't quite understand how a font can change everything about the presentation of your business. For example, in school, they only wanted us to use Times New Roman, at least in my day. They wanted us to use Times New Roman 12-point font because teachers did not want to look at a paper that was written in Comic Sans. It's the same for your business. If your business is serious, you don't want to have a silly font. You want people to take your business as serious as it is. And I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with Canva? Very simple. All of those steps you have to complete to have all the information you need to go forward with those 5 components of branding. And once you have all of this, Canva does a great job at putting it all in one place for you. What I love about the brand kit by Canva is that they put everything in one place. They put your fonts, they put your colors, they put your photos, they make it easy to grab your logo. So any template you use within the Canva app, you can easily add your logo and make it your own. If you don't already have the Canva app, I suggest you download it right now. They have a free version, but they also have a pro version. Yes, it is a monthly charge, but it is worth it for your business. We're wrapping up here soon, but there's some things that I want you to know before you go live. And it's okay if you've already went live. You can go back and make some adjustments. Make sure you have your purpose and your mission statement. That was something we discussed in the steps. It's going to make it a lot easier to put some of that about info in your websites. Make sure you have your business plan. That is going to be all of that planning of knowing your audience, everything that we discussed in the steps. Your social media. Make sure you have done your research and you know which platform is best for you. And as soon as you do, promote. Your logo. Make sure you have your logo. Put it as your profile picture. That way everyone knows that this is my business page. Your methods of contact, you want to make sure you update those. If you don't have an email, go to Google, create one. If you don't have a phone, go to Google, get a Google line. You want to make sure that your customers are able to connect with you. This information should be on your social media pages in your profile. Some quick tips for setting up your social media. Make sure you make a distinction between your personal and business page. Make sure your username properly shows your business. A lot of people use their business names for their usernames. Promote, and use some of the promotion tools that are within those social media platforms. Pick the right platform, and I'm going to continue to say that over and over again. Always pay attention to the algorithm because they do change, and you want to make sure you're posting at the right times. Remember to promote yourself. Do not always rely on others and friends and family to promote for you. No, promote yourself and stay consistent. Well, folks, thank you so much for listening. I hope that everything we went over today is going to help you with your business and to grow your brand. If you do need any help, please feel free to use me as a resource. Here is a list of the services I offer. I do offer more than this, but just ask me and I'll be more than happy to help you. So have branding kits, and they are arranged by your profession if you need those so that you can get a good start on the branding process. And I will be hosting Canva trainings in June for those of you that want to have more of a hands-on approach and take control of your branding. So keep an eye out for some information regarding that. And you can always follow me at LadyTKGNK. Let's go. Let's get it.